So what we're looking at today is the Lawyer Referral and Information Service for the Orange County Bar Association's Panel Member Control Center. So what this is it's an area where the panel members can go to manage all of their referrals. In addition to manage the referrals, they can, you guys can pay forwarding fees, you can update your contact information, address information, phone number information, everything within this portal. So to get to this portal, you'll go to www.ocbar.org/LRIS portal, and that'll take you to the screen that we see here. So first thing it's going to ask you for is username and password. So username and password is going to be exactly the same username and password that you use to access the Orange County Bar website, ocbar.org. So if you don't have that information, you can always go to Forgot Password right here, or you can go to Forgot Password on the Orange County Bar website. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to log in as a sample member here, just one that we used to test with. So as you can see here, it's going to bring up some basic information. It's going to let you know who I'm logged in as, John Smith. You're currently logged in as account, and that's going to be the username, which for example purposes, it just says sample. So up here I'll also see a link for documentation. So pretty much everything I'm going to go over with you here on this short video will also be contained in this documentation link right here. So the first thing to look at here is Update Panelist Preferences. So if I click on that, it's going to show me some basic information here. Profile information, if I look at that, it's going to give first, last name, organization, address, phone number, email address, just basic information. So if you have any changes to your contact information, you can change that right here within this area of the portal and just click Update Profile. So pretty simple there. Program information. So this is important because in the past, as for what panels and sub-panels that you were on, you may have had to call an LRS representative or check in with staff personnel. Here you can just click it and see exactly what panels and sub-panels you're on. So for the purpose of this demonstration, this sample panelist, John Smith, is just on one panel, administrative. But if you were logged in as a real panelist, you would see all the different panels and sub-panels that you were on listed here. Upload documents. So this is a pretty cool feature. Here you can upload any documents that you may have that you need to get provide for the staff, whether it be certain requirements surrounded around panels that you're on, insurance documents, just pretty much anything that pertains to being a panel member with the Orange County Bar Association. So you can upload most types of documents that you would use for business purposes, such as PDFs, JPEGs, GIFs, anything of that nature. So to upload that, you just choose the file from your local computer here and upload it. Now, as you can see, for purposes of this sample member, it's just uploaded a flower image, and you could view it, which there it is. So that's really useful because it stays in the profile here. So if you ever, excuse me, if you ever needed to get back to see a document that you uploaded, months ago, even years ago, it's just going to stay in the profile here. Now, once you upload something to here, it's going to also create an alert for the personnel that manages the referral service. So they'll be able to see that as well, and it'll go into the back-end systems as well. So if you upload it here, it's kind of in both places, and it provides history into your profile. So that's pretty much most of the information here under Update Panelist Preferences. So referral list. This is going to show you every referral that's ever been issued to you, whether it be open, closed, It's going to go all the way back to the year 2000. So there's going to be a lot of stuff listed here. It's going to be listed in chronological order based on when the referral was submitted. So what's also nice about this is I can kind of create my own reports. So if I hit open search right here, if I was looking for a referral that was, or a client that got a referral, I could just type in their name first or last. If I just wanted to see all my referrals that were closed, I could do that, and then it filter results, which there's one. If I wanted to see all my referrals that were open, I could see all of those. So it's a pretty powerful tool, and then you could print this and essentially just print your own report. Another cool thing about it is I could filter referrals, like if I wanted to see all my referrals for the month of February, April, May, whatever. You could just type in a date here, let's say 3/1/2016 to 6/1/2016, and it's going to give me those. So pretty neat. You can pretty much, like I said, create your own reports and print them as well. So when I go into this referral list here, like I said, by default it's going to show me everything. Now I could filter that like I just showed you and to pick out certain ones. But when I actually get the referral I wanted, so let's say client Andrew Smith here, which has an open, which is still in an open status, I could click into that referral. And then I could see, okay, it's open. I could always change that, update it at any time to closed. You can tell when it was submitted, what the category was, a little bit more information about the client, and then if there's any notes. So this notes section is pretty neat. You can just add notes to any of the referrals that you want to. Our staff here on the administrative side will also be able to see that. So at this point, I can add forwarding fees to this. So if I wanted to add a referral payment to this referral, I could just hit add referral payment. So what it's going to ask me at this point is client fees paid to the attorney. So that is all of the fees that you received from your client. So if I were to receive a $1,000 payment from my client, what the system's going to automatically do is it's going to take 15% of that, and that's what will go through this system to be paid right now through the online system. So it's going to automatically calculate that 15%, which before on the paper reports, there was a little bit of, some people were putting that in there, some weren't, but now it's forcing that. So once you get that in there, you see it's about to charge you $150. You have a couple options at this point. You can pay now, put in your credit card information, and that referral is paid up and done with. Now what a lot of people like to do is what's happened in the past is they'll send in a check for maybe 4, 5, 6 referrals at once. So that's still an option as well. So you have a couple of things you can do on that. If you wanted to send in a check, let's say you wanted to pay forwarding fees on 4 or 5 different referrals, what you could do is instead of doing pay now, create, update invoice, and pay later. So what that's going to do is it's going to create an invoice in the system that's open. So our accounting department here will see, okay, I have an open invoice for $150 for this referral. So now our administrative staff is awaiting payment. So if I click on that, it's going to say, by choosing this option, you're agreeing to remit payment by check or pay by credit card within 7 days. You will have an outstanding invoice due until the check or credit card payment is received and applied to the outstanding balance. So if I do that and hit process, okay, now I have opened up an invoice for $150, and now the Lawyer Referral and Information Service will be awaiting payment for that $150. So it's, like I said, it creates an open invoice in our system. Now at this point, I could go and add this to my shopping cart up here. If I do that, it's going to put $150 in my shopping cart. So I could do this for multiple referrals and then go to my shopping cart and check out and pay them all by credit card. So that's one option that I could do by choosing this. The other option is I could create all of these invoices. Let's say I had 4 or 5 different referrals, and then I could send in a check for them all at once. So at any time you can see, okay, here's the referral that I have, the forwarding fee that I have in my shopping cart here. I can view the item details. It's going to tell me the referral activity for Andrew Smith, which is the client, received on 7/8. So you can see what's in the shopping cart there. At any point, you could clear out the shopping cart. And then if I were to go back into that referral for Andrew Smith, it's going to show me here that it's going to show me all the activity under forwarding fees for that person. So you can see here I have a payment on 7/8, which is the date this is being recorded. Client fees paid to attorney, $100. Forwarding fees paid to LRS, $150. So I can view my referral invoice. I could add another referral payment onto that if I wanted to, so I have a few options. So view referral invoice. If I click on that, this is the invoice that I just created. As you can see here, there's a balance due for $150. And once again, I could hit pay now, enter credit card information just for this one referral, or add it to my cart and then go and do another one. So let's say I did want to add that to my cart. I could go back here to my next referral. Let's say this John Johnson one right here. I needed to submit a forwarding fee for that one. I could go in here. I could add another referral payment. I could say, let's say this client gave me or paid me $2,000. Okay, the 15% of that's going to be $300. I could create, update, invoice, and pay later. Hit that button. Hit process. And now I have the option of adding this to my shopping cart as well. Or I can print this page. I could print these invoices, send them all in with one check. So you got a couple of different options. If I added this to the cart, now as you can see, I got $450 in my cart. And now one interesting thing about this is, and this is something that you'd need to understand on how the system works, is for each individual client that you have that has a referral, it's a running total of the forwarding fees that you can pay, that you paid on it. So as you see right here with this John J. Smith, now what I had done is I just created a payment for $300 for this individual. But you can see the invoice amount is $301. That's because at some point in the past I had paid $1.50 towards the referral for this client here. So essentially it's just one invoice that keeps putting line items on it as you make payments. So you can see here the total invoice is $301.50. The amount paid that I paid at some point in the past was $1.50. My balance due is $300. And I could always view the details on that invoice and it's going to show me. So back on May 20th, I paid $1.50 because I received $10. Now I received $2,000, so I'm paying $300, and I have a balance due of $300. So just to reiterate that again, for each referral that you have, it's just one invoice, and it keeps tacking line items on it as you pay individual forwarding fees. So I hope that's clear. It does outline that a little bit more in the documentation as well. So pretty simple process for paying forwarding fees. And one really cool thing about this system as well that you may not have had the insight of before is that as I look at my referrals, it's going to give me that ongoing total right here at the bottom of all the activity that I've done in the past. So this is going back to back years into the system. So if you've paid forwarding fees for a referral for like the last 4 or 5 years, it's all going to show up in here as you log on to the system. So it's also going to give you insight into maybe what's happened in the past that you didn't have before, and it is current as of right now. So that's a forwarding fee piece of it. So if I go back to my home screen, whenever you want to get back to the home screen, you can always click on the logo here. So in addition to my referral list and referral payments and forwarding fees, I also have transaction history. So transaction history is going to show me all of my invoices and payments that I've made towards LRIS. Now this isn't going to include anything that you've done just in general for the OCBA, such as your basic membership dues or event registrations or anything like that. It's essentially only LRS related invoices. So as you can see here, I've got 3 invoices here that's been paid in the past. There's no balance due on them. In this demonstration we just did, I just created 2 more payments. So you can see here they're in red at the top here because I do owe money on them. The balance due for that first invoice I created was $150, and the payment due for the second referral payment that I created was $300. So at any time you can see that. And let's say you created these forwarding fees and you were going to pay by check, but then for whatever reason you're like, well, I'll just go ahead and pay them by credit card. At any point you could come back into them, add them into your cart, and pay them by credit card at any point. So hopefully that outlines how to pay the forwarding fees and these links here as well. So another big piece of this system is the monthly and quarterly reports. So in the past, the monthly reports had been coming through the mail, as have the quarterly reports. So this system is going to simplify it greatly. So at the first of each month, if you have any referrals that are in an undefined status, meaning that you have not reviewed the referral and put it in an open or closed status, then it's going to, as a referral's first done, it's in an undefined status, basically saying, okay, a client came to us, we issued you a referral, please let us know if this is an ongoing referral or for whatever reason it didn't work out with the client and you're closing it. So at the first of each month, an email will go out if you have any referrals that are an undefined status from the previous month or any previous month prior. So any referrals that are undefined status will show up. So what I'm going to do here is show a demonstration of that. So what I did was I just paused it here for a second to go into our back-end system and create a referral that was in an undefined status. So like I said, when on the first of each month, if you do have any of these referrals that are in undefined status, as you've done in the past with the paper reports, it's going to let you know, okay, we need an update on the status of those referrals. So when you first log in, you're going to have a call to action here saying urgent items needing attention, monthly referral updates needed. So essentially, if you click on this link, it's just going to show you any referrals that were in the prior month or any time in any month prior that are still in an undefined status that we need an update on. So if I were to click on that, it's going to show me all of those referrals here. For the purposes of this demo, it's just one. Monthly report, please update the following referrals. As you can see right here, it's in an undefined status. So if I click on that referral, it's going to show you the screen that we've been looking at a second ago, just add forwarding fees, as you can see here. Please update the following referral to an open or closed status. So if I were to leave this in an undefined status and click update referral down here, it's not going to let me do that. It's going to say you must select a status other than undefined. So at this point I could come in here and I'm going to say, okay, for whatever reason it didn't work out with the client, I'm going to close this referral and update referral. Referral update confirmation, your referral has been updated. Now if I go back to my home screen, I don't have any alerts. Everything is where I want it, all the referrals are updated, everything looks good. So that's what you'll need to do on a monthly basis. Now that you've seen a little bit about what the monthly report looks like, now I'm going to show you what the quarterly report looks like. So it's pretty similar how the monthly report works. Essentially, you will get an email on each quarter on January 15th, April 15th, July 15th, and October 15th. So these once a quarter emails will come saying you have a quarterly report and you have referrals that are from the prior quarter or before that are in an open status that we need an update on. So it's real similar to how the paper reports worked in the past. It's essentially saying you have open referrals, we just need an update on them. And what you'll want to do on this update is you'll want to submit any forwarding fees that maybe have been that you've received from the prior quarter or before. Maybe that case has been closed and it's brought to your attention, hey, we need an update on it, so you could go ahead and close it. Maybe there's been no activity on it and you just need to leave it open. But essentially it's just alerting you which referrals that we need an update on. So for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to show you exactly what the portal will look like when you do get that quarterly update email that your quarterly reports are due. So when you first log into the portal, it's really similar to how the monthly alerts look. So essentially you'll have a call to action item here saying urgent items needing attention, quarterly referral updates needed. So I click on this link, it's going to let me know what referrals that are currently open that are from the prior quarter or before that we need an update on. So I click into this referral and it'll give you a message here, please update the status of this referral and pay any forwarding fees that are due. Once complete, click on the update referral info button below to fulfill the quarterly update requirements for this referral. So that's really important right here. If I were to just X out of this or just go back to the home screen without doing anything, this doesn't go away and it's not going to show that we have an update on this referral. What I need to do is, if I wanted to leave it in an open status, I have to click this update referral info button. And what that does is essentially it lets the system know that you've reviewed this referral and everything is good and accurate and up to date. So at this point I could close it. I couldn't put it back in an undefined status, it wouldn't allow me, but I could close it. I could leave it open. I could pay forwarding fees. But once again, even if I paid forwarding fees on this, if I don't hit this button right here, the system's going to know that it's not updated. So if I did want to leave it open, I could just hit update referral info. And it's going to let you know this referral has been updated and the call to action items have been cleared from my home screen. So one last thing to note is we did simplify the statuses of the referrals. Now you can only put them in a status of open and closed. Prior, there were several primary and secondary statuses that were out there, such as possible, additional, and various others. So that is one thing to note is right now when a referral is first done, it starts out in an undefined status, then it has to be put in just a open or closed. There's no secondary statuses or anything like that. So with that being said, I appreciate you watching the video. If anybody has any questions that come up, just feel free to give us a call at 949-440-6700 or give us an email at lris@ocbar.org. Thank you.